The following is a live presentation of Retro Sports Network, home of the champions of the past, present, and or future. Good morning, afternoon, evening. My name is Ron Zucker. Welcome to the program for this 20th day of September, the last one of the summer of 24. We go back to September 17th. 1988 for a Saturday afternoon affair between the New York Yankees and the Boston Red Sox. The Red Sox are a half game up on Toronto and 4 up on Detroit. That's right, Ron. Nice bad shave this morning, too. In the American League East, the Yankees are pretty much out of it, although I don't think they've been officially eliminated yet. It's pretty close. Bruce Hurst will go for the Red Sox in this one. Charlie Hudson's going to go for the Yankees. And the New York Mets are already in the playoffs. We know from yesterday's stream that the Dodgers are in deep, deep trouble, and that the Royals lead the American League West. So let's get to this, shall we? As Retro Sports Network presents Major League Replay 1988. Today from Fenway Park in Boston, Massachusetts. It is the Boston Red Sox and the New York Yankees. And today's game is brought to you by DigitalDice.com, the best darn podcast on the web for your sports simulation and replay needs. Find us today on Spotify, Spreaker, iTunes, or wherever else fine podcasts are listed. And again, Charles Hudson for the Yankees, 6-2 in his 10 starts on the year. Bruce Hurst, who is wrapping up a remarkably good career for the Red Sox, is 16-10 with a 4.29 ERA. And Marty Barrett, oh, by the way, has an 11-game hitting streak. It is a drop-dead gorgeous late summer afternoon in Boston, 80 degrees. Winds out to right center at 7 miles an hour. Bruce Hurst taking his warm-up tosses, making his 30th start. He's got 2 more after this. He is 30 years old. San Diego's going to love him in a bit. Fastball at 90 standard pitcher, 16-10 with a 4.29 ERA, which means he has room to grow as far as a starter to finish off the year. He has faced the Yankees twice in 13 2/3. The Yankees have hit him well. 14 hits, 8 runs all earned, 7 walks, 10 strikeouts. However, he's 2-0 against them with an earned run average of 5.27. How you doing, Jamie? That's right, you're just finishing up over in Ireland at 5:03 in the afternoon. Hope you're having a good Friday. Bruce Hurst last pitched on the 12th against Baltimore 5 days ago. 8 innings, 131 pitches, 3 hits, 2 solo home runs. He walked 2 and struck out 9 in a 4-2 win. 212 innings for Bruce, 203 hits, 109 runs, and 101 of those earned. He's allowed 24 homers. He's walked 86 and struck out 153. Here's how the Yankees will line up. How you doing, Gus? It's a beautiful day in Vermont, too, and in the mountains of New York. Yeah, well, that's the whole point. Charlie Hudson, yeah. How you doing, Forever May 90? Yeah, I forgot he pitched for the Yankees. And remember, the Yankees are 9 games out of first place. They were a lot closer in real life, so the Yankees are playing pretty much an everyday lineup, which will include Ricky Henderson leading off in left. Willie Randolph at second will bat second. Don Mattingly at first will go third. Dave Winfield cleans up in right field. Jack Clark will announce on Wheel of Fortune, host Crosswitz, and be the DH. He'll bat fifth. Gary Ward is in center. He'll go sixth. Don Slott behind the plate will bat seventh. Louis Aguayo at third will bat eighth, with Pagliarulo on the bench against the lefty Hurst, and Rafael Santana at short will bat ninth. Hurst can go as long as Boston wants him to go, and as long as he's effective. Defensively for the Red Sox, Mike Greenwell, a 5 and a 3 in left. Ellis Burks is a 7 and a 5 in center. Dwight Evans is 6 and an 8 in right. Wade Boggs is 7 at third. Jody Reed a 3 at short. Marty Barrett as a 5 at second. Todd Benzinger at first is a 2. Gedman an 8 and a 7 behind the plate. So more than likely the DH is Larry Parrish. It would be Jim Rice. But this would be who you would see in a playoff scenario. Ricky Henderson steps in at 290. 2 homers and 30 RBI. This is game 147 for the Yankees and 148 for the Red Sox. Dave's having a baseball sale this weekend. Should offer everything at Shohei Ohtani prices. Can you imagine that? Did you ever think that you would see a 50-50 player? How you doing, Oriole Patrick? Pitch to Henderson. Ricky grounds this one left side for a base hit. And so that's how this one starts. Henderson has stolen 92 bases on the year. It hasn't helped the Yankees. Willie Randolph at 262, a home run and 44 RBI. I mean, just the thought of that. This is the 148th season of Major League Baseball. Going to start back. Actually, if you want to go further back, it's 153rd. Pitch to Randolph is a ground ball. Marty Barrett has it. Snap throw to first. Randolph's out, and Henderson's on to second. So 1 away. You go back to the National Association in 1871. This is the 154th season of what we consider to be Major League Baseball. Now, 50 stolen bases plus has been done a number of times. Don Mattingly, oh, by the way, at 308, 13 homers and 100 RBI. You can't blame Mattingly for the Yankees' slow record. But to have 50 homers and 50 steals is just, oh my goodness. Pitch to Mattingly. There's a ground ball right side. Evans will pick it up. Henderson always has the afterburners going. He will score, and it's 1-0 New York. So 1 out, 1-0. Here's Winfield at 292, 23 homers, and 100 RBI. How you doing? Afternoon, John. So if we get, we'll do the real or the traditional World Series after we're done with our playoffs. And it looks like it's going to be the Yankees and the Phillies. 2 best records in each league. Winfield in the left field, and that's going to drop in front of Greenwell. So Hurst is not off to a flying start. So first and second, 1 out. That's the 3rd Yankee hit for Jack Clark. Hitting 242, 24 homers, and 73 RBI. So it just looks like the pitching for the Yankees is what's not worked. Their offensive numbers are pretty close. Don't look at RBI because that's dependent on situation. Hurst deals. Gets away from Gedman and everybody moves up 90. So first and second on the wild pitch. That went all the way to the backstop, and it's a 3-1 count to Clark. Pitch to Jack. Struck him out! Did you see what the outcome box said? The on-base percentage was 80%, and Hurst got him on a full-count fastball. My word, if the Yankees only get 1 here. Here's Gary Ward. 248, 3 homers, and 22 RBI. You can almost feel Phil Rizzuto squirming in his seat after that. Did you see that there? White, did you see that, White? They couldn't score. Pitch to Ward. Well, they will now. That's in the left. That's going to score at least Mattingly. Winfield around third. Greenwell does not have a great arm. They're going to try for Winfield. The throw to the plate is not in time, and the Yankees go up 3-0. At this point, Rizzuto would be talking about 1978. It's only 14 games to go. Here's Don Slott. Don's had a good year at 304, 4 homers, and 37 RBI. How you doing, Scotty? Gunnar Henderson. Oh, yeah. He's a stud. 47 homers and 20 steals. And no one... Ohtani may be putting up the best season in baseball history. What gets me is that the Dodgers were already blowing them... Yep, other than just going for the record, which is why he was most likely to achieve it anyway. They let him hit it. Doesn't matter. You still got to play him anyway. I was covering the Nats the day that Anthony Rendon had his 10 RBI game against Washington. Or against the Mets. Yep. It may be seal clubbing, but it all counts in the end. How you doing, Scotty? You think Roberto gets fired if Ohtani breaks the record or breaks a bone swinging at something during the pennant race? Well, it's a playoffs. He can sit the rest of the year now. Yep. Rizzuto would have WW in the book. Wasn't watching. When did Soto come up? It was 16, 17, and part of 18 I covered. We gave you Slott's numbers. Pitch from Hurst. Struck him out. So a costly inning if you're a Red Sox fan. If you're a Yankee fan, good for you. 3 runs, 4 hits, no errors. Charles Hudson takes the mound. The Yankees lead it 3-0. So Hudson making his 11th start. He's got 1 left after this. He's won his last 3 decisions. 6-2 with a 4.12 ERA. They didn't really use him out of the pen, and he's probably best known for some incredible pitching performances in the '83 NLCS against the Dodgers for the Phillies. He was Charlie Hudson in '83. He's Charles Hudson now, and appropriate that someone by the name of Hudson is pitching in New York City. 29 years old, fastball at 88, and a fly ball pitcher. He last pitched on the 27th of August, so he's had quite a bit of rest. In a 12-7 win over the Angels, 6 innings, 103 pitches, 6 hits, 2 runs, both earned, a walk, and 5 strikeouts. Overall for Hudson, 87 in the third, 72 hits, 40 runs all earned, 8 homers. He's walked 32 and struck out 41. And he's been given a 3-run cushion. Wade Boggs will lead off for the Red Sox at third base. Marty Barrett in his hitting streak will bat second and play second. Dwight Evans in right will go third. Mike Greenwell in left cleans up. Todd Benzinger will bat fifth at first. Ellis Burks in center will go sixth. Larry Parrish is your DH. He'll go seventh. Jody Reed at short batting eighth. Rich Gedman will bat ninth behind the plate. Hudson can get you about sixth. The Yankee defense sets up as soon as I go through here. Fans are complaining in Philly that Thompson isn't playing real Mutomore. He's been given a lot of guys rest who have shown in the past that they are worn down by the end of the season. Something he didn't do in years past. That's what cost the Nationals when Dusty Baker was there. It'll be Ohtani's first postseason. Should be absolutely. How you doing, JT? I've had a good week so far, thanks. Defensively for the Yankees, Ricky Henderson a 6 and a 4 in left. Gary Ward a 5 and a Ramanun a 1 in center. Dave Winfield is a 7 and 7 in right. Aguayo is a 5 at third. Santana a 6 at short. Willie Randolph is a 7 at second. Don Mattingly a 10 at first. Don Slott a 4 and a 3 behind the plate. And Hudson is a 5 on the mound. And if he had Dayton behind the plate, it would set him up as a good target. Boggs at 345, 3 homers, and 73 RBI. He has scored 110 runs on the year. And he starts this one off. He ropes this one into right for a base hit, and that's how the Red Sox will start. Boggs a wide turnaround first. For Marty Barrett on an 11-game hitting streak, Marty 297, a triple, and 53 RBI. Yeah, the Dodgers aren't going to make the playoffs in my replay unless something really changes. We're down to 16 days left in the regular season. And we could be pretty much done except for the East in pretty short order. Marty's swinging away here, and he draws the walk. So the Red Sox, it took them all 3 batters to get to the tying run at the plate, and that is Dwight Evans. Dewey at 292. 24 homers, and 98 RBI. And as we said, if the Red Sox do win the East, then I will play the Red Sox out as the Red Sox throughout their postseason run. Increasingly looking more like it will be the Kansas City Royals. Pitch to Evans. Dewey strikes out. Hudson finally got one. and 0-2 fastball chased. For Mike Greenwell at 322, 22 homers and 122 RBI. So we're increasingly looking like the Mets and the Reds in the NLCS. Pitch to Greenwell. There's a high pop-up, center field. Ward moves over into right center, will make the catch. Boggs isn't going, and oh, he is. Of course he is. But the throw goes in the infield, and it's runners on the corners, 2 out for Todd B. Wearing his George Hendrick jersey, hitting .274, 10 homers and 53 RBI. First and third, pitch to Benzinger is into right center. Gary Ward tracks it down, and the Yankees get out of it. So no runs, 1 hit, and the Red Sox leave on 2. And after 1 here at Fenway, it's 3-0 Yankees. So Aguayo, Santana, and Henderson. To get back to the Marlins being pushovers, look, it's 27 outs. And it's your job to get 27 outs. I mean, to go 6 for 6 and 10 RBI and multiple homers and stolen bases. Show some pride and try to win the game. I mean, at the floor, Tampa is doing its best across the western part of the state to claw themselves back into the wild card race. Ohtani is just... we're talking, 1927 Babe Ruth here as far as just miles and miles ahead. What's he hitting, by the way? Pitch to Aguayo, 235, 2 homers, and 12 RBI. That's a base hit into right center. So Bruce Hurst out there with a hairball of a performance so far. Here's Rafael Santana at 238, 4 homers, and 37 RBI. The Reds have been red hot in this replay in September. And Hershiser just was never going to do what he did in real life. The Braves beat him. That's when I kind of knew it was over, when Hershiser was losing games to the Braves. Pitch to Santana. Rafael, this might be 2. Reed has it. Marty Barrett for 1 and Benzinger for 2. So 2 out and nobody on for Ricky Henderson. Opening 9 for Hurst, not great. In fact, pretty bad. 39 pitches, 3 runs, all earned. An inning and 2/3, 5 hits, and 2 strikeouts. Ricky has 99 runs on the season. He scored his first time up and singled. He has 151 hits. Hurst deals, and that's another hit. So Hurst is hittable today. My goodness. And Henderson looking for his 93rd steal. 2 out, Randolph 0 for 1. And Hurst throws over to first, and Ricky does. He gets back, and it makes no difference whatsoever. He stays put. Pitch to Randolph is into right center. Burks is there, and that will take care of business. Yankees get 2 hits. Double play erased 2 runners, and after an inning and a half, it's the Yankees 3, the Red Sox nothing. So Burks, Parrish, and Reed to face Hudson, who still threw 28 pitches in the first. Ellis at 279, 17 homers, and 97 RBI. I've seen the Dodgers-Yankees World Series. That'd be a lot of fun. If we see a Dodgers-Yankees World... this year, it would be a Cold War and the Custer household. Uh-oh. Me rooting for the Dodgers and his wife and daughter rooting for the evil empire. Yeah, though, JT says the loss of the Braves was the last straw. You can't be losing to that. If you don't beat those guys with your race, you might as well hang it up. And you can't, as we've had them on a number of times, the Dodgers, and you can't blame Gibson and you can't blame Rick Dempsey. I mean, they tried their hardest. But the pitching just hasn't really been there. Pitch to Burks. Struck him out, so that's 2 from Hudson. A full count fastball got him swinging. Hopefully Scotty will still watch next year when it's 56. Larry Parrish at 272, 10 homers and 35 RBI. Ground ball to Aguayo, who makes a long throw over. And Parrish retired. 2 out for Jody Reed, hitting .301 and 30 RBI. And yeah, for the modern-day Dodgers, they got to prove they can win in October. Pitch to Reed is a fly ball to right. Winfield moving over and will make the catch, and that'll do it for the Red Sox in the second. They go down in order, 1, 2, 3, and after 2, Yankees 3, Red Sox nothing. So Mattingly, Winfield, and Clark to face Hurst. It was nice to see, I forget the name of the Brewer player who doesn't drink, but the non-alcoholic beer when the Brewers clinched their second straight Central Division title in the National League. And also Bob Uecker at 90 years old partying it up in the Brewer locker room. That is just so cool. Mattingly drove in his 101st his first time up, scored and singled. This time around, laced to third. Boggs is there, 1 out. For Dave Winfield, Mr. May singled and scored in the first. How you doing, Mike? Dodgers can't win every replay. Scotty will always have 1978. They've been to, I believe, the most World Series of any team in my replay. They've been in the playoffs, I think, all but once. And they won in 78. They lost in 49, but that was a lone Yankee win. Pitch to Winfield. Ground ball to first. Benzinger to the bag for the out. You know, it's interesting. We do about 100, 105 games a year before the playoffs. And the things that I remember most from them all, Jack Clark struck out his first time up, are the playoffs. Brett Boone's walk-off in Game 6 last year against Oakland to force Game 7 for Seattle. Fred Sanford taking a no-hitter into the 9th of a World Series clincher. I mean, that was pretty cool. Clark draws the walk. Gary Ward had that 2-run single that got Phil Rizzuto's attention in the first. Hurst winds and deals with and gets the strikeout, so Ward goes down by way of the K. He chased one, and after 2.5, the Yankees leave on a runner, and it's 3-0 New York. Uecker is a national treasure. Oh, absolutely. Saw a picture of him on one of the last seasons of Mr. Belvedere. They did a baseball-themed episode. Gosh, what a shock that is. And on his team of misfits, Harmon Killebrew, Hank Aaron, Mickey Mantle, and someone else I can't think of. I mean, yeah, that's pretty good. And Uecker. Gedman at 249, Rich's 9 homers and 37 RBI. He was a favorite of Johnny Carson, too. I forgot how many times he was on the Tonight Show, but it was a lot. Pitch to Gedman. Rich, base hit up the middle. Ward will cut it off, but Gedman is in the second standing with the 17th double of the year. And Gedman has my speed. Wade Boggs singled his first time up. Charles Hudson, 43 pitches, 2 innings, 2 hits, a walk, and 2 strikeouts. So, congratulations to the Yankees for making the playoffs. Maybe for 5 minutes, they'll stop calling for Aaron Boone's head on Facebook. Pitch to Boggs. Wade hits a ground ball to Randolph. Gedman goes to third, and the throw to first gets away from Mattingly. So Randolph commits his 7th error of the year. Boggs is on first. It was a low throw. It bounced off of Mattingly's glove. And the run scores. So Gedman, who again has my speed, scores the first run. And it's 3-1 New York. So here's Barrett. Marty walked his first time up. Yeah, he was on there a lot. Uecker's deadpan skills were on the money, and Carson loved the... Yeah, Rodney Dangerfield. I'll let you guys guess. Who do you think was the most featured guest on Carson's Tonight Show from 62 to 92? Hit and run is on. Barrett is in the right center field with a base hit. Gary Ward will pick it up. Boggs moves on to third. And my God, the Red Sox are not playing station-to-station baseball. So Barrett, the tying run on first. Here's Evans. Dewey struck out his first time up. It was, no, not Bette Midler. And no, guest host might be Joni Rivers, but nope. We're talking guest on the couch, not guest behind the desk. Pitch to Evans. Ball 4. And so they're loaded for Mike Greenwell, who's not the answer. So Boggs on third, Barrett on second, Evans on first, and Greenwell has 2 grand slams on the year already. He's already driven in 122. Nobody out. Red Sox trail 3-1 here in the third. And Slot reminds Hudson that can be hit. Hudson from the stretch. Center field, but shallow. Boggs probably isn't going to tag. Ward rides the Schwinn, makes the catch, and Boggs will bluff. Don't get thrown out. You got good hitters behind you. So 1 out for Benzinger, who's 0 for 1. Surprised Scotty doesn't have an answer for that. So it's Boggs on third, Barrett on second, Evans on first. Red Sox have 1 in already. Benzinger is 0 for 1. Hudson sweats and deals. Popped up. They're not going to... Oh, that's not how you do it. Randolph makes the catch on the grass, 2 out, and that'll bring up Ellis Burks. Ellis is 0 for 1. He struck out. Captain Carl, thanks for joining. You are now a member. And by the way, since we're no longer on Twitch, if you want to be a member, hit that button and join. It was not Carol Wayne, but Carol was a bit player, so I'm not going to say that's the wrong answer. Poor thing drowned. So here's Burks. 2 out, bases loaded. Ellis in the left center field, and that's extra bases. Boggs will score. Barrett's gonna score. Here comes Evans, and it's a bases clearing double for Burks because Ricky was looking at his fingernails. And they go up 4-3. How about that? So Bruce Hurst has been bailed out. Here's Larry Parrish. He's 0 for 1. Bobby listening at work. The answer, you ready? I'll give you one more chance to make a guess here. Pitch to Parrish. Left field. Ricky not picking his nails there. And that will be an out. And so the big inning, 4 runs, 3 hits, and boy, was that error costly. After 3 at Fenway, Boston 4, New York 3. Ricky can do a lot of things, but Ricky can't play the monster at Fenway. Nope, he can't. Here's Slot. Don struck out his first time up. Hurst starts the 4th. Ground ball past Barrett in the right center. So Bruce not covering himself in clover here this afternoon at Fenway. That's the 7th Yankee hit. Here's Aguayo. Louis singled his first time up. Okay, we got a stumped. Charles Nelson Riley is the answer. Now, Carlin would have been a good guess too, but it is Charles Nelson Riley. Like 57 times. Pitch to Lewis. Right back to Hurst. Barrett for 1. Marty throws to Benzinger. And it is indeed a 1-4-3 double play. So Hurst gets the best friend out in back-to-back innings. And here's Santana, who grinded into that double play the last time up. Spider-Man would take a while to scale the Green Monster. Remember, up until, the first 20 some odd years, or just before that, it was a 90-minute show. And so Riley, who always had great stories, I mean, a lot of them are on YouTube, would just kind of come in the last 10, 15 minutes and make Carson laugh and say his piece, especially after the show moved out to Los Angeles. So, yeah, Charles Nelson Riley, because he could always come in cold. They trusted him that his material would be good. And I wouldn't have guessed that. Pitch to Santana. Struck him out. So we played 3.5. The double play erases the base runner. The Red Sox 4, Yankees 3. Oops, and I forgot to change the stats. Oh, well. So here are the standings. The Mets, by the time that we send the rest of the games, will have won the National League East. No one else in that division is over 500. The Reds have a 5.5 game lead. Their magic number is 11 over the Dodgers. San Diego still technically has a chance. And the Giants, which we're assured of on a repeated basis, aren't a major league team, have not been eliminated yet. In the American League East, the Red Sox by half a game on Toronto only because they have that game in hand. And the Tigers 4 back. In the West, this does seem to be Kansas City's division now to lose. They have a 2-game lead on Minnesota. And Oakland just kind of scratching and clawing, being 8.5 back. And because I had the wrong stats up there, the only of the top 3 teams in batting, pitching, and fielding, only the Mets are the only playoff team that's there. The Dodgers third in hitting and lead in the ERA. But it would take pretty much a miracle now to get past Cincinnati. Jody Reed is 0 for 1. Carm, right? I can't read your name. Carm can't. Yeah, Charles Nelson Riley. Riley, of course, was a match game regular. Was it? He, I picked up Randy West's TV history book, and I've started to read it, and it's a must-read. Charles Nelson Riley was also on The Ghost of Mrs. Muir. That's where he got his breakthrough. And I've heard them both tell this story before, but Gene Rayburn, pitched to Reed, is a ground ball to Mattingly, and Don's not going to mess this up. 1 out. Really wanted to be an actor, so he was in Bye Bye Birdie. He took over for Dick Van Dyke, who happened to get his own TV show. And so Gene's understudy in that role was Charles Nelson Riley, and they developed a great rapport. And Gene, of course, being who he was very supportive of Charles and his being a closeted person. And yeah, that was great. But yep, Charles Nelson Riley. And I highly recommend that you watch his one-man show, The Life of Riley. It is a wonderful show. Rich Gedman doubled and scored his first time up. Pitch to Gedman. Struck him out. That's 3 for Hudson. An 0-2 fastball got him looking. I gotta say, as Wade Boggs steps back in at 1 for 2, he has singled and scored. Always lead off something and then have to read stats. Hudson, 75 pitches, 18 batters, 3 2/3, 4 hits, 2 walks, and 3 strikeouts. I gotta say, one of my biggest social media thrills, outside of being befriended by game developers now, was that back on MySpace, you remember MySpace, right? I sent a friend request to Charles Nelson Riley, and he accepted. Pitch to Boggs. There's a base hit into right, so Wade is 2 for 3. 5th hit for Boston. Here's Marty Barrett. Marty singled, so his hitting streak's at 12. He has also walked and scored. There used to be a ladder on the Green Monster, and used it to collect the balls that were caught. Oh, and the screen, sure, and the netting above it. When the Monster seats built, the ladder was taken down. You can see that kind of where it was. It's on the mouse. You can see it, but if you look at where the Red Sox Foundation, the Covidian ad is on the Monster, it used to be there. Now all the ladder was removed. I'm still not a fan of the Monster seats. I understand that people are, but I'm old. Pitch to Barrett. Marty into left field. Henderson moving over, and Ricky can't get there. Somebody from Fall River made that catch, and the count is 2-2. Ground ball, left side, base hit. So as poorly as Bruce Hurst's pitches, Boggs going for third. He is. Ricky again checking his fingernails, and Boggs scampers on to third. So runners on the corners, 2 out for Dewey, who has walked, struck out, and scored. He's 0 for 1. Red Sox, I think, are going to have a better record in this replay than they did in real life. What were they in real life? Were they? I don't think they were a 90-win team, were they? Pitch to Evans. Up the middle, Randolph has it. Goes to Santana for the out, and that'll do it. Willie took it himself. Stepped on second. Red Sox have left on 5. No runs, 2 hits, no errors, and they lead 4-3. So third time through for Hurst. 18 batters, 75 pitches, 4 innings, 7 hits. All 3 runs are earned, a walk and 4 strikeouts. Ricky being Ricky is 2 for 2. He has singled twice and scored. Stole 93 on the year. JT went to Fenway 92, and it was pretty cool to see all the dents in the wall and see the inside of the scoreboard. I went 89. And so, yeah, that was, it's Nirvana for sure. It's been a while since I was working a block and a half away and haven't watched a game. Yep, modern sports are a mess. Pitch to Henderson. Drops one down. Gedman throws to Barrett, and Ricky will be retired. Here's Willie Randolph. He's 0 for 2. Hurst winds and fires. Fly ball, left field. Greenwell, 2 out. So Hurst does not appear to have his A game, but he's going to gut this one out. He's eligible for the win with his next out. Batting lead 1 for 2. Don has his 101st RBI and a run scored. To third, Boggs and Wade got caught looking for some chicken in Margot, and Mattingly's going to beat that out on a bad play. So Wade, fielding percentage is right on 972. It was never a Gold Glover, but he was never as bad at third as he was made out to be early in his career. Of course, when he came up, Dave Winfield, by the way, 1 for 2 with a run scored. Cardi Lansford was at third, and Boggs played first. Hurst deals. That's into left center for a base hit. So Burks will corral it. Mattingly will hold, and there's 2 on and 2 out for Jack Clark, who has walked and struck out. He's 0 for 1. Tying run on second. Clark strikes out. He chased a fastball. We're halfway home on a great late summer afternoon here in Burlington. It's the Red Sox 4, the Yankees 3. Well, I'm going to assume that the ad's done. If you joined us late, here's how we got here. Boston, 4 runs, 6 hits, no errors. The Yankees, 3 runs, 9 hits, and an error. The Yankees got 3 in the first. Don Mattingly, an RBI single to make it 1-0. Then Gary Ward, a 2-run single to make it 3-0 New York. For the Red Sox, they got 4 in the third. Wade Boggs had the error, or reached on the error, and that scored the first run. Marty Barrett now has a 12-game hitting streak. He got a single, and then Ellis Burks cleared the table with a 3-run double to make it 4-3. So poor Charles Hudson hasn't allowed an earned run in this one. 4 innings, 6 hits, and 4 unearned runs. 2 walks and 3 strikeouts. Bruce Hurst, 5 innings. He hadn't pitched all that great either. 9 hits, 3 runs, all earned, a walk, and 5 strikeouts. And if you look at the game score, which essentially tells you at the end what their chances of winning, the Yankees actually, Hudson's at 43 and Hurst is at 41. Here's Mike Greenwell. He's 0 for 2. Pitch to Mike. There's a base hit into center field. Ward will pick it up and quickly throw it back in. 7th hit for Boston. Here's Benzinger. Todd B is 0 for 2. There's a ground ball to Santana, might be 2. Randolph for 1, and Mattingly for 2. So Hudson gets his best friend. And everyone pull out their Bill Bixby shirts. Here's Ellis Burks. Ellis 1 for 2. He had that 3-run double in the third. That cleared the bases. He is now driven in 100 runs on the year. In the right center, Ward will make the play, and that'll do it. So after 5, no runs, a hit, the double play ends the threat. It's the Red Sox 4, the Yankees 3. There's a lot of adjustment, JT. I haven't watched a game this year. Baseball by far is my favorite sport. Absolutely by a mile. But I do this 3 to 4 times a week. I get my baseball fixed. Having said that, Ohtani's just one hell of a story. He really is. And, you know, the ownership in Chicago, let's build a pop-up stadium. Why don't you invest in your team first before you whine for a new stadium? And what has happened in Anaheim with Artie Moreno, I mean, you've wasted Mike Trout, and now you got Ohtani in the postseason. He might be the magic key for the Dodgers this year. Mr. Howard hopes so. Gary Ward 1 for 2. He is singled, driven in 2, and struck out once. Well, they had to kill something with a dead time. The pitch clock, I don't mind. Pitch to Ward. There's a base hit in the left field for the 10th hit for the Yankees. So Hurst, again, not a great effort from him, but he can get the win. Don Slott 1 for 2 with the strikeout and a single. The thing with Hurst, and I want to say this before I yank him because looking at that box, Bruce isn't long for this game, is that if it wasn't for the 10th inning of Game 6 of the 86 World Series, Bruce Hurst would be a living legend here in New England. He had won both of his starts. That was Game 7, right? You know, he was on the verge of winning all 3 of his starts in the World Series. He was going to be 3-0 in that 86 series. He had had such a tremendous year in 86. And if they had won that game, I mean, his number would be retired. He certainly wouldn't have gone to San Diego, for goodness sakes. And just, you know, the fickle finger of fate and how a destiny can change. Pitch to Slot is a line drive to Barrett. And Ward scampers back. Marty's kind of in that category, too. I think Marty was the ALCS MVP that year. And because they went on to win World Series later, and you don't, unless your name is Carlton Fisk, you know, you're not necessarily looking at players in a positive light on the losing side of crushing World Series defeats. There are some players on this team that deserve a much better fate in Red Sox history. Aguayo is 1 for 2. Louis is singled and grounded into a double play. Yeah, imagine when he gets back to pitching next year. The thing with Ohtani was it was a matter of hitting 50 homers. But the stolen base thing is more hollow now that, you know, you can't hold runners on. It's still a big deal. Dave Henderson would be a living legend, too. I think he still is. Probably would have a statue outside of Fenway. Yeah, because he homered in the 10th in Game 6. But Hendu is always loved here. I know it doesn't work for the pros, but I don't have glasses on, Jim. I'm sorry. But I like the rule that everybody plays and bats. Scotty says, imagine what Ohtani can do when he pitches next year. Yep. Yep, television is a big deal for that. Tribe fan! How are you? Aguayo. Left field. Greenwell for the out. And Ward goes back. You know, I mean, we could all argue about what should be done to her blue in the face, about what changes should be made. Increasing offenses there. I mean, the batting average this year is what, 242? Santana, by the way, is 0 for 2 with a strikeout. I think a hard cap on pitchers. If you're going to have a 26-man roster, it should be 16 and 10. And If you want to swap between, 5 or 6 different relievers, that's fine, but go back and forth between those. It's a different game. I understand that. Pitch to Santana is popped up. Gedman back to the screen, doffs the mask, makes the catch to... no, he dropped it. Are you kidding me? He drops it. And so that's the first error. Gedman had it and popped out of his glove. Glad you're doing well, Tim. Happy to be in October again. That's right. The thing is, people's, tastes are fickle. Women's basketball has grown by leaps and bounds, and that's not a bad thing at all. Soccer, baseball is just competing against a lot. Pitch to Santana, and he struck him out, so the error does not hurt. That'll do it for Charles Hudson. Lee Guterman coming in to pitch the bottom of the 6th. It is Boston 4, New York 3. Yankees had a hit and an error, and they'd left the runner on. Here's Guterman making his 14th appearance. 1-0, a 4.02 ERA. Lee is 30. Really? Fastball at 84. And a ground ball pitcher. He hasn't pitched in a month. His last time out was against the Angels, 5 2/3 in a 7-6 win. 68 pitches, a hit, a walk, and 4 strikeouts. So 40 1/3 for Guterman, 43 hits, 21 runs, 18 earned. The home run came against the Jays way back on April 11th. He's walked 14 and struck out 16. So lefty pitcher to face the righty Parrish, who's 0 for 2. Take the statement with a grain of salt? Okay. But as an Oriole fan, I have had to watch the Red Sox and Yankees spend so much money on and off over the years, so I'm not a fan of the way of the Dodgers. And the thing is, money doesn't guarantee you anything. I think that's a lesson from the Yankees. The years that they dominated back around the turn of the century, it was homegrown talent. Andy Pettitte, Derek Jeter, Bernie Williams, Gerald Williams to a degree. They got the right spots, but, the Yankees were spending money like drunken sailors back in this time period, and they're 75 and 71, and they aren't going to the playoffs in 88. Pitch to Parrish is a base hit into center field, so Guterman is treated rather rudely. 8th hit for the Red Sox. Here's Jody Reed. Jody is 0 for 2, and we will bunt him. Pitch is down. Slot goes to Randolph covering first, and Parrish moves to second. For Gedman, wow. Some serious reverse splits going on here. Look at that outcome box. Rich is 1 for 2. I was thinking of pinch hitting here, but I won't. 1 for 2, a double, a run scored, and a strikeout. How you doing, Andrew? Mr. Scarborough, caught stealing is at 21%. That's pretty high, yeah. Oh, no. Oh, the Yankees would not have the dynasty that they have if George wasn't suspended. Oh, absolutely. I think he had to rethink that. I think if things had continued the way that they had, yep, and those of us in New England wouldn't have minded that a bit. Pitch to Gedman. Ball 4. So Guterman going over like a lead balloon to start. 1 out for Boggs. Wade 2 for 3. On base percentage here of .563. 2 for 3 in this one with a run scored. Both of the hits were singles. Ground ball. Santana takes it to the bag himself for a 1, but Boggs is going to reach. So Gedman is out. 2 away for Marty Barrett. Marty has walked and singled twice. Also yesterday, someone texted me about the potential bet in Vegas. Over-under on the number of NHL teams or NBA teams that will have more wins than the 2024 White Sox. You just have to finish 500. So I would say I'd go with 30. That's half of both leagues, right? Mr. Dutch says, didn't the Yankee Stadium crowd stand and cheer? Yes. Yeah, Steinbrenner was not beloved. Not by this point. Mr. Scarborough says Oriole fans as well, but I can't blame teams for having owners that do want to spend. Oh, yeah, that was pretty much the end of my baseball, love affair end with the Red Sox ownership when they let Mookie Betts walk. I wasn't happy when they let John Lester walk. But when they refused to give Mookie his money, and trust me, the Red Sox have it, and Mookie, I have a Mookie jersey. Mookie was loved here. That's true. Captain Carl says that when the Colts were in town, the Orioles never sold out a thing. That was Johnny Unitas' town. And Gene Stick Michael, getting back to the Yankees, was the beneficiary of being patient with the youngsters. Yep. The Red Sox have not been smart the last... And they got the World Series. Give them all the credit in the world for that. They weren't going to win with the Yawkey Foundation running the team, or the trust, but yeah, I'm not in love with Henry and Werner. Pitch to Barrett. It's right back to Guterman, and Lee makes the catch. We played 6 and chatted for a while. After 6, no runs, a hit. Red Sox have left on 7, and it is Boston 4, New York 3. So 27 batters deep. We're going to call it a day for Bruce Hurst. Oof. Can't use Smithson, can't use Boddicker, can't use Clemens, can't use Gardner. All right. You know how I feel about this one. Here's Bob Stanley, 34 years old, 56th appearance, 5-2, a 3.41 ERA. Throws what he calls a fastball at 84. The Steamer is a ground ball pitcher. His last time out was against the Orioles 3 days ago in a 6-2 win. He went 2 2/3, 39 pitches, 3 hits, a run it was earned, and he struck out 2, making 16-year-old me pass out. 92 in the third innings for Bob. 95 hits, 39 runs, 35 earned. He's allowed 5 homers. He's walked 35 and struck out 51. So Stanley and Lee Smith will have to get the 9 outs. Ricky Henderson 2 for 3. He has singled twice and scored. Pitch to Ricky. Ground ball right side, base hit. He's a tying run. Oriole Patrick was crushed when the Yankees signed Mussina. Bob Watson was pretty good too. The Dodgers have spent the last decade proving you can't buy a World Series. The Yankees should have told you that. Yeah, I mean, when Clemens left, that wasn't necessarily a bad thing. You knew he didn't want to stay. But the knife job that ownership did to Mo Vaughn, there are times it's frustrating to be a Red Sox fan for sure. Let's see, what else? Andrew doesn't like Henry. Yep. Can we call Bill Lee out of retirement? Hey, I can put anyone I want in this thing. I used to watch every Braves game, but now that tired than trading away the future for a player that might be the key to winning a World Series and then letting him go to free agency. I feel you. I mean, how do you not make Freddie Freeman a Brave for life? Throw to first. This should be interesting. And Ricky. Oh, Ricky's back. So Stanley now will concentrate on Randolph. Pitch to Willie is off the mound. Barrett, Reed, Benzinger. Sometimes you are just blessed. That hit off, I believe, Bob Stanley's foot. Bounced right in the waiting arms of Marty Barrett. He flipped it to Jody Reed and over to Benzinger. And so it's the old-fashioned 1-4-6-3. That's someone's phone number. Double play. So 2 out. And the Red Sox are just living the life of Riley out here. Here's Mattingly. My word. Mattingly 2 for 3. He has singled twice, driven in his 101st, and scored his 80th run. Atlanta's a... Jim, are you from the Atlanta area? Atlanta's a fickle town. They went all those years to the playoffs and only got the one World Series. But it's a college sports town, not necessarily a pro. And Sale has worked out, too. Yep. Pitch to Mattingly. There's a ground ball to Boggs. Snares it. Gobbles it. Throws to first. Stretch time here. 4-3. Boston. It'll be Evans, Greenwell, and Benzinger for the Red Sox in the 7th. No. Mo got the bad treatment because it wasn't for the steroids. They not only knifed him in the back, they poured a thing of kosher salt in there. Accused him of doing all the nightclubs and strip clubs in Boston. I mean, they were just nasty. The ownership was nasty. They had Will McDonough, their little poochie at the Boston Globe. You know, here's all the bad stories. They did the same thing to Terry Francona, too, after his time there. There are times that even rooting for the laundry is a tough task. Dewey is 0 for 2. He has walked, scored, and struck out. Jim's in Middle Georgia. Became a Braves fan in the 60s. Bobby's been in New England so long that his dad remembers when the Braves played in Boston across the train tracks from Fenway. Well, I think the Angelos being removed from the picture kind of helped Baltimore, too. They're fun to watch. Evans draws the walk. Gooderman is out for another inning, which is kind of a surprise. Oh, he can throw 75 pitches. That's why. Here's Greenwell. Mike 1 for 3 with a single. Struck him out, so Greenwell took an 0-2 curveball. 1 out for Benzinger is 0 for 3. You guys are watching by droves today. You'd think this was a Gardner stream or something like that. Pitch to Benzinger. There's a slow chopper. Randolph is going to get only 1. Dewey's going to second to throw to Mattingly, and Benzinger doesn't have that kind of wheels, and he's out. So 2 away for Ellis Burks. Ellis has the bases clearing double in the 3rd. He's now driven in 100. No, and a lot of there don't care. Yep, Boston Globe by Mr. Henry's child bride. We need a video explaining the Mo Vaughn drama. I mean, the Patriots would use the Globe to poop on their players that left town. The Red Sox would do it. The Celtics never did. And the White Sox want to slash payroll next season. Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Have the Bulls want to play? When's the last time the Bulls made it to the conference finals? Pitch to, they're going to walk Burks. So here's Larry Parrish. Larry 1 for 3 and with a single. Pitch to Parrish. Up the middle for a base hit. Ward and his non-existent arm will pick it up, and Evans is going to go. Santana should have got there. He didn't. Evans is going to chug home, and the throw goes in the infield. It's 5-3 Boston. So Santana still making Met fans regret getting rid of him. However, Kevin Elster is going to play in the NLCS, and Rafael Santana's golf tee times are coming up. Here's Jody Reed. Jody's 0 for 2. Gooderman deals. That's up the middle. Santana makes up for it. Randolph for 1. Reed's going to reach. There was 2 out anyway. Won't matter. So It was the worst of times. It was the best of times. The Red Sox get a run on a hit. They've left on 9. And after 7, it's 5-3. 2010-11. So it's been 13 years since the Bulls made the conference finals. Oh, JT Dutch. Oh. Oh, you know, Bill Simmons is full of himself, but the whole thing about the curly-haired boy. It was satisfying to see the 0-4 Red Sox win it all, simply to see the sheer amount of egg on Dan Shaughnessy's face. Aren't the Nationals moving to Virginia with the Capitals? No, that stadium is new. And the Learners have taken it off the market. That's a nice stadium. I grew up watching Dale Murphy and wish he could get into Cooperstown, but the Braves killed him by trading to Philly where he... Oh, yeah. The worst owner in the last 30 years was Jeffrey Loria. Screwed over Montreal. And then was given to the Marlins by Selig for John Henry, as a matter of fact. Say what you want about Montreal, but those fans are loyal. You know, if the amount of... Over the years when I worked at the store downtown Burlington, if the amount of people who say that they went to the Expos and missed the Expos actually went to those games, they'd still be here. Dan will block you on Twitter if you call him Shank or CHB. Oh, Olympic. You know, it's amazing. And I'll get yelled at in the comments later on. You talk too much in this game. Well, you know, you can watch us live, too. It's amazing how similar the stories are between the Montreal Expos and the Tampa Bay Rays. We go to the 8th. It's a 2-run game. Oh, by the way, Dave Winfield is 2 for 3. He has singled twice and scored. Stanley gives up a fly ball to right. Evans runs in, makes the catch, 1 out. And so you're safely in the point now where if Stanley gave up a base runner, I have no trouble putting in Lee Smith. Jack Clark has struck out twice and walked. Gus got to run the bases once at Olympic. He stopped at second. Oh, yeah. They tried to serve me a beer my one stop at the Big O, which was at 88, and I forgot to stream the game I went to. And Mike Pagliarulo is going to pinch hit. Although, remember, it's not considered a pinch hit chance because he's the DH. Pags at 235, 16 homers, and 64 RBI. Stanley steams one to the plate. That's into right. Back goes Evans into the corner, and Dewey will make the catch. 2 out. For Gary Ward, Gary 2 for 3. Has singled twice and driven in 2. Oh, Mark Davis claiming that his silicone Barbie doll girlfriend didn't realize he was a billionaire. Do professional sports owners think that we all eat lead paint chips? And Claudel Washington is going to pinch hit. As a pinch hitter, hitting 188, overall 308, 11 homers and 61 RBI. 2 out, Stanley deals. Ground ball right side, and Stanley, I think, should be done. 2 out for Slot. He does have power. I'm looking. I hate having to make this decision. We'll leave Stanley in. Slot 1 for 3. He has singled and struck out. Pitch to Slot. Ground ball. Phew. Barrett over to Benzinger, and I got away with that. So Stanley does yeoman's work. He goes 2 innings. No runs, a hit. The Yankees have left on 7. After 7.5, it's 5-3 Boston. Hippolito Pena. Now, you got to be a real serious Yankee fan to remember Hippolito Pena. How you doing, Mike? He is 24. He's making his 9th appearance. Has no record, a 2.79 ERA. Fastball at 90 and a standard pitcher. He pitched in yesterday's 6-1 win over the Red Sox. He went 1 inning, 11 pitches. Overall for Pena, 9 2/3. 10 hits, 4 runs, 3 earned. He's walked 6 and struck out 5. And we will pinch hit for Gedman. You got Cerrone, so who can hit a lefty? Jim Ed is a pinch hitter at 502 RBI. Jim Rice at 265, 16 homers, and 83 RBI. Red Sox are up 5-3 here as we start the bottom of the 8th. Rice draws the walk. I'm happy. Wade Boggs, Hippolito just does, man. It's the last time you saw Wade Boggs come to the plate with an outcome chance of 105. Wade is 2 for 4 on the day. He has singled twice and scored once. Pitch to Boggs. Popped up. Left side. Santana. That's a rainmaker on this warm day. 87 degrees now. Wind's blowing out to center at 7. 1 out for Marty Barrett. Marty 2 for 3. He has singled twice, scored and walked. Never doubt Bob Stanley. Yep. Let's see. FYI, Gus loves Fenway, but it's a bit outdated. Yes. Andrews, lead paint chips are yummy and calorie-free. Oh, dear. Okay. Mr. Dutch says, Bob Stanley adds yet another chapter to his storied legacy with the Red Sox. He's always pitched well for me. Gus says, rather have Stanley in there than to sit and watch the genius mount. Oh, the Papelbon was. Never doubt Bob Stanley, Demo says. Scotty says, when it comes to frustration in the Big Four, not many can match the relatively short history of Seattle. That's true. What do you think, Scotty, of if Seattle gets an expansion team, they're getting the history of the Supersonics back? No, what happened that night wasn't all Stanley's fault. John McNamara, on the other hand, not getting a statue. And that's, one person is, absolutely. Most of that falls on to McNamara. Absolutely, JT. Yeah. Anyway, enough of that. We're winning 5-3. Marty Barrett 2 for 3. He has walked and scored. There's a base hit in the left center field. Rice stays at second. Washington is in center field. He's a 5 and a 4. And, of course, Pagliarulo stays in the game as a DH. First and second, 1 out for Dwight Evans. Dewey has walked twice, scored twice, and struck out. He's 0 for 2. Vegas, I think, would do it. Dave Stapleton. Well, the rumor goes, or the story goes, that Mac wanted Buckner on the field when they won so we could celebrate. You got to win the game first. Rod's Tabletop Hoops. A must-follow channel. Oh, by the way, just put it out there. Went to Fenway for the first time 2 weeks ago. Beautiful park. Sat near the pesky pole. Those fans love their team. Vegas? Yeah, I mean, why not? Scotty laughs. Have I heard that NHL's planning to bring 2 more expansion teams? Houston, I can understand. Why would you give Atlanta a 3rd chance? I don't get it. And if that happens, Memphis and Minnesota, we're talking the NBA, would move to the Eastern Conference. Pitch to Evans, who's 0 for 2. Slot and Pena have a word. Dewey hits a ground ball to Santana. Should be 2. Randolph for 1. Mattingly for 2. And that'll do it. We go to the 9th, and that will do it for Bob Stanley. It'll be Aguayo, Santana, and Henderson. To face a well-rested Lee Smith. Lee is 31, 10-7 with a 2.09 ERA. In 36 saved chances, he has slammed the door 31 times. He is a fastball pitcher and a ground ball pitcher. That fastball at 94. Against the Yankees, 5th appearance, 4 2/3, 2 hits, 3 walks, 6 strikeouts, and 3 saves. His last time out there, he took a loss against Baltimore. Ugh. In a 9-7 loss, he went 1 inning through 45 pitches. My goodness. 2 hits, 5 runs, 3 earned. He walked 3 and struck out 1. Yankee fans are licking their chops. He is 2nd in the American League in saves. In 94 2/3, he's allowed 62 hits, 29 runs, 22 earned. 6 homers. He's walked 37 and struck out 93. I need a catcher. It's not Jim Rice. Rick Sorona's a 7 and a 4 behind the plate. So 2 to tie, 3 to go ahead. And the Yankees have 3 outs to do it. Aguayo, Santana, and Henderson. Louis is 1 for 3. Singled and grounded into a double play. Struck him out. A 1-2 curve. Got him. Seattle, yeah. Vegas, no for basketball. You know, Gus brings up a point. The G League is going to be playing some games in Laval. I'm very interested to see how well that does. JT says I should have stayed with the steamer. Here's Santana. Raphael is 0 for 3, and he has grounded into a double play and struck out twice. Lee Arthur winds and deals into center field. So far, me 2, Dutch nothing. 2 out. Last chance saloon for Ricky Henderson. Thanks for staying with us on a chatty Friday. Ricky is 3 for 4 with a run scored. 3 singles and 99 runs now on the year. Smith 1 out away. Rears back, and that's a base hit to left all the way down the corner. Greenwell will pick it up. Henderson will hold with a stand-up double. And for Ricky, that's only his 22nd. So the tying run now was Willie Randolph. Willie is 0 for 4, grounded into a double play. Yeah, I know that JT wasn't being serious. Yeah, I think it's the Knicks that are spending some time up there. Yep, it's one of the reasons why we do so much baseball, because you can, you know, treating this one with you guys in the chat like it's 20 to nothing. It's still 5 to 3. 2 out. Once again. Ground ball to Barrett. There we go. Over to Benzinger, and the Red Sox win 5 to 3. So 88 and 88 for the Sox. No, 87? Oh, I thought that was there. Anyway. So 3.5 fake hours. 5 runs, 10 hits, an error for Boston. They stranded 10. The Yankees, who fall to 75 and 72, 3 runs, 13 hits, and an error. And they left on 8. Ellis Burks' 3-run double in the 3rd will get him the Digital Dice MVP. Congratulations, Dave Gardner's season starts today. Another one with the Cyclones. He is their primary announcer, and he is a good one. Charles Hudson, 5 innings, 7 hits, 4 runs, none earned. He walked 2 and struck out 3. Gooderman did 2 innings, 2 hits, a run it was earned, 3 walks a decay, and Pena, a lot of hit or walk. Bruce Hurst goes to 17 and 10, 6 innings, 10 hits, 3 runs, all earned. Again, not his best stuff, but it worked. A walk and 6 strikeouts. Stanley gets the hold, 2 innings, 2 hits, and Smith picks up his 32nd save. So with that on the board, the Red Sox magic number is now 14. The Yankees elimination number now is 4. The rest of this Saturday in baseball, as we said, Ellis Burks, 100 RBI now on the year. Mets have not only won the division, Ron Darling strikes out 7, shuts out Montreal 6-0. Poor Bryn Smith got his Fritos nonetheless, 10 and 12, and so the Mets at 87 and 60 are playoff bound, which I think we've been saying since April. Cleveland shuts out Toronto. Craig Swindell goes to 16-11, 8-0 the final. Jimmy Key falls to 6-7. Joe Carter, not quite with the Blue Jays, 3 for 5, 2 RBI, and a double. Good, I got a whole bunch of stuff to read here. The Cardinals beat the Cubs 2-1 at Wrigley. Joe McGrain 11-7. Capel 1-2. Worrell picks up his 27th save. Houston eliminates San Francisco 9-5. Larry Anderson 5-1. Rick Russell 9-15. Ramirez 3 for 4, hits his 5th and drives in 6. Imagine that. Good game for Rafi. Minnesota back in the win column. Alan Anderson beats the White Sox 5-2. 15-6 now is Anderson. Royce 10-11, and Reardon picks up his 27th save. Kansas City pretty much doffs Oakland season. It's now a 9.5 game margin. They win 3-2. Tom Gordon 1-0. How about that? Otto 0-1, not the bus driver from The Simpsons. And Steve Farr picks up his 22nd save. San Diego, they get the benefit of 11 walks in 11 innings, and they beat Atlanta 6-3. McCullers goes to 8-9. Ed Olwine, old wine, 2-1, and Mark Davis picks up his 26th save. Philadelphia beats Pittsburgh 4-3. Barojas 2-0. Doug Drabeck 14-8. James 1-for-2, his 20th of the year with a walk. The Dodgers beat the Reds. It's now 4.5. They steal 5 bases. Leary goes to 14-9. Robinson 4-3. Kirk Gibson, again, single-handedly trying to will them through. 2-for-4 with 2 steals. Tigers 6, Orioles 1. Doyle Alexander 12-12. Williamson 4-8. Tom Brookins hits his 8th 2-for-3 with 3 RBI. Oh, by the way, Atlanta made 4 errors in that game. Congratulations. Oh, it was a doubleheader. Atlanta won the nightcap in 11. Imagine that. 22 innings of meaningless baseball in September against the SEC. Alvarez 5-6. Mark Grant 4-7. I bet Morcillo still hears about that. Darryl Thomas 4-for-5, and I think he's having a monster year with a stolen base. California beats Texas 5-3. Clark 3-7. Charlie Huff falls to 12-15. Joyner 4-for-4 with a steal. And last but not least, Seattle beats Milwaukee 12-3. Moore 16-10. Burke Beck writes the book about it 5-11. Rob Deere hits his 19th 3-for-4 with a double. Are we picking up any Sunday games? I think we're going to take Kansas City and Oakland off. I don't think Oakland can catch them now. So we will quick sim that day while we're here to try to get this to move along. So Philadelphia beats Pittsburgh 2-1 and 12. Greg Harris 12-3. Kramer, Cosmo 0-1. Steve Jeltz 2-for-4 with a double. Red Sox beat the Yankees 3-1. So Smithson, as soon as we get there, we go, goes to 10-5. Neil Allen 5-5, and Lee Smith picks up his 33rd save. Red Sox lead is a game and a half. The division champ Mets beat the Expos 2-1. Randy Myers 3-6. Tim Burke 4-9. Jeffries 4-for-4 with a steal. Kevin McReynolds has driven in 100. The Dodgers beat the Reds in 10, 3-1. Pena 11-4. Williams 8-6. Gibby again 2-for-5, a double, and 2 RBI. Wow. Toronto behind Dave Steve beats Cleveland 6-4. Steve is 17-3. Nichols is 2-3. Franco for the Indians 2-for-5. Is 11th and drives in 2. I believe the Dodgers would host a playoff game against Cincinnati. Baltimore dents the Tigers' chances bigly 4-0. Malacky gets his first win. Frank Tanana 14-12. Eddie Murray 1-for-4 hits his 23rd. Cubs beat the Cardinals 3-2. Greg Maddux 13-12. McWilliams 5-5 now. Manny Trio in his trio 2-for-3 with his first of the year. San Francisco beats Houston 4-2. Don Robinson 8-5. Mike Scott 12-11. Robbie Thompson hits his 9th 2-for-4 and drives in 2. Minnesota 7-3 over Chicago. That lead is now 1 as Oakland beats Kansas City. Les Straker 7-4. Patterson 0-2. Carlton Fisk hits his 17th, goes 2-for-4. California beats Texas 11-8. Gentleman Jim Corbett 3-5. Jeff Russell falls to 10-12 or 12-10. Ruben Sierra 5-for-5 hits his 21st. Seattle 16 hits. Darnell Coles 4 hits, a homer and 4 RBI. Milwaukee steals 7 bases and they lose in 13, 8-7. Reed 5-2. Knudsen 0-1. Yount 4-for-5, 2 RBI and a triple. Oakland, as we said, beats Kansas City 4-2. Saberhagen takes the loss. It's still 8.5 for Oakland behind KC. And San Diego beats Atlanta 10-2. Andy Hawkins beats John Smoltz. All right, where are we picking up games? We're not scheduled to do anything here. I believe the Red Sox and the Jays are the next one we got here. So at the moment, Mets are in. Reds' magic number is 11. Boston's magic number is 12, and Kansas City's magic number is 13. So we're going to take Monday, a doubleheader. Reds and Padres, followed by the Red Sox and the Blue Jays. And then the Wednesday game, is an either-or situation. That won't be a straight doubleheader. Either the Twins and the A's or the Red Sox and the Jays. And then the stream date number 3. What did I pick for Friday? I picked the Red Sox and the Yankees, but that could all go off the board. We'll take San Diego and the Dodgers. So, tentatively, that's the schedule as we get to the end of the season. My goodness, you all watch for all that? Yeah, Otto, the autopilot from Airplane. You're welcome, JT. Have a great weekend. Andrew's going to go watch some football and all that. And again, Rod Tabletop Hoops, one of the best basketball teaching channels out there. And so, that'll do. And Scotty says the Rose just put down a bet on the Dodgers in the West. Have a good weekend, everybody. So long.